gonna be a good one. Think we're live. Woo! Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. If anybody's in the live stream chat, say what's up. I'm gonna say hello here. We got a few people watching. Say hey. Don't be shy. We're about to get this thing started.
Hello, everybody. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday again.
Woo! All right, here we go. Take the music on down. And people, welcome to Thank Ganja It's Friday. We are live. Hey, we are live with another absolute crazy show coming up. I'm sure that you read the caption or the headline or the title. We got to talk about bleach, blonde, bad built, butch body. And we got to talk about a lot more than that. We got to talk about where's Rudy? We got to talk about Anna again. I don't like to do it. I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. With all of that being said, I'd like to welcome, first and foremost, the illuminated, the well-informed, the illustrious Laura Malcolm, my co-host. How are you?
Cheers, Bruce. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you.
Well, yet another prepared list of topics blown up.
Yep, all the way gone.
Oh, man.
Oh, we spend so much time preparing these topics, especially when we know we're going to go live. And the next day, we should just prepare it before the show, because this is ridiculous. Who knew last night at 11:30, simply because at 11:30 a.m., everyone in the house would be out genuflecting to Donald Trump as if there's not three co-equal branches of government supposed to provide checks and balances on each other. One of the branches of government was sitting inside the other branch of government, literally defending a defendant, defending a gross abuser, someone who has completely dishonored his office of the third branch of government. There's none of it left. All of that is pretense. I'm sorry, but before we get there, let's have fun. Talk to me, Laura.
Yep, that gaggle of gag order violating maggot sycophants parading on another Trump pageant for Veep with their red tie sashes and their matching blue coats, all its little minions.
Oh,
I mean, I could
gross.
go on and on and on, but you know.
Nothing says.
Oh yes, master. We love it. Turn on us some more. We can't get enough.
The scent is more. The scent is awesome. They're following behind him, taking it all in, and there's nothing that says cult. I'm in a cult more than standing up side by side in uniform, dressed like your cult leader. Jesus.
I'm surprised they weren't all wearing goddamn diapers too.
Oh my God. Well, we're gonna get to how absolutely absurd that is, but because they were
exactly. It's not just that they're just doing this ridiculous obvious stunt, but there's more serious stuff that they're doing.
Yeah,
should be doing.
Well, listen, one of the things that they should have been doing was be in a hearing that had to be held at 11:30 at night because they weren't there at 11:30 in the morning. Because it was held so late, I'll let you start it off. Please, the illuminated, the illustrious Laura Malcolm, put down the fart gun. And please tell us how important what happened at 11:30 at night on the House floor was. What happened?
I don't know if I was watching Jerry Springer, Redux. What the hell, man? I mean, and stupid folks. Fox is blaming Jasmine and AOC for this. Now, of course, Marjory started it all with some comment about Jasmine Crockett's false eyelashes, to which later AOC objected and asked for the words to be stricken and for her to apologize, yada. And when she refused, and Comer, being the feckless chair, didn't know what to do. Nobody was standing up for Marge either, though, which is a good point that was raised a few times. That the Republicans weren't rushing to defend her words, but then AOC took direct aim at Marge Taylor. but the comeback by the way it was put by Jasmine in the form of a question to the chair was priceless.
If any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman, that's right. He's advising. Okay.
Are you muted?
He's advising who? What?
Oh, I've been talking and nobody could hear me. Outstanding. Excellent. Well, the point is,
Live streams rock.
yes. Well, the point is, people. Let's start this again. The point is, you're going to need to know the timeline, because everywhere else seems to bow down to Republicans and act like they don't know what happened here, as well as if you're watching faux news, God bless you. You won't get the truth. Timeline is right here. This is how it started.
If any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Oh, God.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman, that's right. He's advising. Okay.
This is what it looks like when you're bombing on stage. Marjory Taylor Greene is not a comedian. Yet she's trying to make some sort of funny joke because she's the only Republican who hasn't been invited to the courtroom. So she's going to say that, oh, is somebody here representing the judge's daughter? And everyone looks around like, wrong place, idiot. Wrong time. There's no setup to the joke. You just blurted out like a child with vomit in his mouth onto the high chair and looked around to see who's laughing. She's bombing, and so now she's gonna lash out. And I say lash. That's not. Maybe that's a Freudian slip. Let's hear what she has. Let's hear what the bad body has to say.
He's advising who? What?
Quietness.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about
just
AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about. I guess
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you
your
please
history.
regain
That's
order
beneath
of your...
Look at that stupid idiot. Look at her face. We weren't going to go along on this, were we? I can't help it. Look at her face. She's bombing bad. And so she has nothing left to say, but I'm rubber, you're glue. She's on the playground, people. She's on the playground. Georgia, you're not sending your best. And then she looks humiliated and dumbfounded that she's not being backed up because it's too late at night for the foolishness. And look at her face. And this is what she
That's
comes
beneath
back with.
even
Please
your
regain order of your committee.
Order.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you
meeting will
attack the
suspend,
physical
meeting will
appearance of another
suspend.
person?
Are your
Move
feelings hurt?
her words down.
Are your feelings hurt?
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play. with
Baby
me.
girl? I don't think
We are
so.
gonna move, and we're gonna take your words down.
I
Thank you very
second that motion.
Number one, yes, baby girl. You're a child. You're a child. Okay? Even to come back with something takes wit. You have none. The lady asked you, why are you talking about this? Does it have anything to do with Merrick Garland? And your response was, look at your eyelashes.
Typical Karen.
Typical Karen. You Appalachian nitwit.
So who okay. Ms. Green agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
needs to
recognizes
apologize. No, she needs
Perry.
to apologize.
Okay, hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Green
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well, then
seconds.
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Perry.
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the
it's
minority.
pretty
No,
self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not.
of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes.
And there it is, number two. There it is, number two. People, good and decent people of YouTube, we're going to be done with this. But this absolutely, what do they call them? Homunculus? Right? This absolute homunculus, this backwards, low IQ, intellectually inferior human being starts out by saying, you have fake eyelashes, and then turns to the smartest person in the room and says, you don't have the intelligence to debate me. In what world do you get off saying that after talking about somebody's eyelashes 2 seconds earlier? Come on, people. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, Laura?
No. She's definitely still got some Neanderthal or something. That skull's so thick. God damn, she's stupid. I mean, but their point is chaos anyhow. That's all it is. Chaos, wasting everybody's time, shutting down normalcy or any semblance thereof. But she's still bombing with her own party. So
She's bombing
apparently
on.
Boebert voted to shut her down from something.
Well,
after
luckily,
that.
that's because Mrs. Boebert was actually invited to be at the courtroom.
Yes.
So that's why she doesn't have to do anything now. The reason why this is happening, people, is for one reason. That lobster red-armed, right? That lobster red-armed human version of a fart joke is mad because she couldn't get the limelight at 11:30 in the morning while all the other people who were backing up Trump did. So now's her only time to get it. And this gets only better.
This is Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd
the.
like to
I
strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
I move to
I would
strike-
like
Order.
Strike the
as
lady's
well.
words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the words.
There's another motion to
cannot
strike
take
her
the
words
words.
again. Please
All right.
get
Okay.
your members under
Here's the
control.
correct priority. Ms. Green, do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection.
Not apologizing.
Chair, 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Here it is.
Who's
It's me.
Ms. Crockett?
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personality, correct?
A what now?
Oh, what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's a
Hold on.
part of
I'm
it.
trying to find clarification on what qualifies.
Chairman, motion to
I
strike
had no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just said
You
yes.
just voted to do
Y'all did
it.
it first, so you
Wait a minute. I think the proper response to that is, "Oh, did it hurt your feelings?" I believe that was the proper response. Did it hurt your feelings? Just like you said. Are your feelings hurt? And listen to how these people, this is how absolutely entitled Karens act. Just after attacking someone for their appearance, this person does the same thing. And this is the response of the Karens on the other side.
Voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at calm down. Calm
No,
down.
because this
I
is
would
what
like
y'all
to get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to get
Miss
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Miss
games.
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And you
yelling.
don't want
Calm
me to be.
down.
I can't
No,
hear
please
you.
calm
don't
down.
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Chairman, Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
All right,
Sorry.
chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
No.
There it is. There it is. Tee hee, you homunculus. Yes, you do look like a beached squid. Yes, you do have sunburnt arms that look like lobsters growing out of your ocean blue shirt. And no, you're not intelligent enough even to fight on the same child's playground as these two people. And I'm done. What do you have to say? Is there anything more to say, Laura?
Nothing more to say on that. I'm done.
They got so mad. Even Bobert came back at the end and was like, this is embarrassing. It's like, it's not as embarrassing as when you were in the Beetlejuice concert, but yeah, fine. You can be the voice of reason today. All right.
Well, she was in New York missing her son's court appearance in order to attend Donald's or her God's.
Oh.
So the good lawyers tried to get her to sign a copy of a Beetlejuice program. Well, the rest of the bootlickers were already walking away from the microphone and left her standing there screaming into the void.
I wish I had that
funny.
video already. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to get to Trump's gang of...
So speaking of challenging someone of a much better mental acuity to a debate,
Oh!
looks like Biden found a spine in the lump that calls itself Donald.
Yes. Now, if we can, I think I have a little bit of that. Listen, Rudy cannot be found, but Biden seems to find a spine in
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to
Donald
me
Trump.
in 2020. Since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
That's all that needs to be said. I hear you're free on Wednesdays. Guess what, people? It's on and popping. I forgot the dates. It's in the end of June. One on CNN and one on ABC. Donald could not help himself but come back from that challenge. And he is going to debate Biden, supposedly. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the number one reason to know that it's not going to happen is because Donald Trump said it. If he's ever said anything that wasn't a lie, you guys let me know. Number 2, immediately after agreeing to it, and all of his puppet holders and all of his people behind him telling him what to say and do were like, no! They were trying to hold him back in slow motion. No, Adrian! and he went out and wrote some sort of idiot response on Truth Social.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah. But immediately after that, he says, let this truth show that I will also go on Fox News, and I'm taking up the offer to go on Fox News, which was never offered, right? And he's like, well, let me just try to lie. Let me just see if I can lie and try to get something on Fox. And it just backfired again. Biden was like, no, bro. Nobody offered that to you. I don't know how you tried to make a legal document on Truth Social, but that's not how it works. That's just not how it works. So, yes,
No.
we're on and
Of
popping.
course- Of course, they're all spinning it already, and it was inevitable that they would spin it, that it's a trap.
Yeah,
It's all rigged in Biden's favor.
it is a trap. It is a trap.
Yeah.
But the truth is, you're an idiot, Trump. Like, you can be baited. Kim Jong-un can bait you just as easily. Okay? China can bait you just as easily. Russia can bait you just as easily as it is to satiate you by saying, man, Trump, you look really nice today. Nice tie. Oh, I think you have really big hands. Trump, your hands are really big. I don't know what they're talking about. And I'm sure you lasted longer than 30 seconds with that Stormy girl. I'm sure you did. And he will bend over backwards to give you what you want. Just as easily, you can bait him by going, I bet you won't debate me. Make my day, sucker. And he, without thinking or speaking to an advisor, will go, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Mama, did you hear that? And good for you. In these debates, the mic will be turned off on the person who's not talking. That means Trump can't talk over somebody when they're speaking facts. Number two, there's no crowd. So all of Trump's gas, all of his what do you call it? Nourishment that he needs while talking about stupidness and foolishness, he can't do that because there'll be no crowd there to go, yay, yay. And all you're left with is your words. All you're left with is actual factual words and responses to questions. And in that medium, he is going to fall on his face. Yes. Yes. You might as well put the microphone in his colon. Okay? That's what he's going to... And I can't wait to see it. He was baited. It was a trap, and he fell for it. If I was advising him, I would say there's no possible way you should ever debate Biden, especially on his own terms. The only thing you have going for you is a bunch of sycophants that think you talking about what's his name, the guy who eats humans on a Silence of the Lambs.
The late great Lecter.
The late great.
Congratulations. Why did he even? First of all, he's not dead. But if Trump thought he was dead and real, why did he congratulate him? What the hell was that?
The only way you can get away with that is when the seals in the crowd just keep clapping no matter what. And it makes it seem like it makes sense. Yes, Sean Brennan. Unbelievably, Trump can be baited by a tweet. It's hard to believe. I know. So, yeah, that's going to be awesome. There's going to be two. And the best thing about this, the important news in this is, it's going to be at the end of June. which means that it's actually for the first time in history going to be a debate that means something. That's not before all of the early voting has been cast, right? And it won't be a crowd there. I like the rules. I'm okay with that. What say you?
Oh, I'm good with it. It's you know, it's they're making a big bit of a fuss in some of these channels about, well, why isn't RFK allowed to? Because, you know, Biden's rules say only those who have a chance of winning can be on the stage. But people are saying, well, you know what, why not have RFK up there? And I say fine if they want to add him too. Go for it.
So I would say that too. Listen, in reality, I don't think RFK even has the numbers that you need to make if a real debate if it was made up by the debate commission. So there's nothing wrong with him not being there. But I probably would have said that he can be there because I would have liked to see him debate and get trashed. On the other hand, if I'm Biden, I don't even want people to think that this guy is a viable candidate. I want them to keep thinking that he's an idiot worm brain that is belongs exactly where he is in the annals of nothingness of history.
Agreed.
Yeah. So listen, you let Biden
It would
make
just
the
turn
rules.
into a sideshow. I mean, no way does Trump not make noises and other shit, even if his mic's cut. That would irritate whoever's closest to him, right?
Yeah, that's it. And guess what? Sean Brennan brings up the absolute best point I think we can end this on. In her remarks at the DNC, July 28th, 2016, Hillary Clinton called her opponent Donald Trump a man you can bait with a tweet. That was correct. That was correct. The problem is the DNC, the people of the Democratic Party, have yet to do this type of politics, which is why all of the idiots that don't know anything have been thinking that Trump somehow is still intelligent, because Trump knows how to get whatever he's saying out and how to fight dirty, and they like that. This should have been done a long time ago. The dirty politics should have been done a long time ago. Biden should have been baiting him to talk about his penis size. Biden should have been baiting him to talk about Stormy Daniels in front of his wife. Biden should have been baiting him to talk about how much he loves nuclear weapons and firing them on tornadoes and hurricanes. But instead, they want to do this stupid high road stuff, and it doesn't work when you're dealing with a bully. They only know this. So finally, Biden did what I think he was supposed to do. Take what he's given you, make the rules, trap him, and then throw him on his behind when he gets there. Can we see that, please? That's all I want to see. He's doing it the right way. Doing it the right way. What else we got?
Did you want to go on to the polls and the problems with them? The biases and the sampling. How the hell do they possibly show that Biden's behind Trump?
Okay, so here's the deal. There's two things I want to. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. The polls are horrible, but I want to talk about. I want to talk about the fact that Greg Abbott pardons a white supremacist.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go here. And then because I have a rant, guys, that's going to happen again when we get to these polls. And it has less to do with the polls and more to do about who's reading them. And if you read the title, you know what this is about. So before I go there, please understand that Greg Abbott just pardoned a white supremacist murderer who ran over people in Black Lives Matter riots, or not riots, what do you call it? Black Lives Matter marches, and then shot another one and killed him. And Greg Abbott just pardoned him. Let's just watch this.
Former U.S. Army sergeant released from prison after Governor Abbott pardons him for 2020 fatal Black Lives Matter protest shooting. Daniel Perry, a former U.S. Army sergeant who was convicted of murdering a protester at a Black Lives Matter rally in 2020, was released from prison Thursday after he was pardoned by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Perry faced between 5 and 99 years in prison for fatally shooting 28-year-old Air Force veteran Garrett Foster at an Austin, Texas racial justice rally 2 months after the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Now, I would recommend you read this entire article or find another article. You can search Daniel Perry pardon and find an article and read the depths to this guy's depravity. But I'm going to read what he did. But I want to preface it with the messages that he sent prior to going there, running his vehicle into a crowd when someone confronted him.
We don't need to know all of that. Here's what you need to know, people. This guy shot somebody in the face, a black person, killed them, was sent to jail, and instead of spending the rest of his life there, or even the minimum of 5 years there, the racist, the neo-Nazi, the absolute largest racist group in America known as the Republican Party, elected somebody named Greg Abbott to make sure that every single racist in the party knows that he stands with them and not with us. Us doesn't mean black. Us means the rest of America. Us means everyone who thinks that murderers should be sent to jail no matter who they shoot. Us means those of us who don't think that you can put people in concentration camps and kill them because they look different from you. Understand that in doing this, in what just happened here, Greg Abbott just completely for no reason other than to put you on notice. I'm with you, racist. I'm with you, white supremacist, neo-Nazi. Go kill some more of the darkies, and I will get you off. Go run over some more of those darkies. I will get you off. Go kill some more minorities at the border. Don't worry about it. I don't need a reason. I will get you off. And your family that cries and complains after this means nothing because I was voted in legally. The next person who tells me that Trump can't do this or can't do that when they vote him in, or that people are going to respond to absolute tyranny with anything other than being shot, I will leave you this message. Greg Abbott just pardoned a white supremacist murderer with no reason at all. That's it. That's it. That's it. So, yeah, be afraid, be very afraid. And this is with Joe Biden as the president. Can you imagine? Laura, can you imagine what will be acceptable and okay when you know you have a president behind you that won't even say anything about it when it does happen, or begs you to do it?
I mean, they've already shown their willingness to let women die rather than give them the help they need. I mean, what's surprising about this? You know, it's just another day in Texas.
Texas has become a cesspool of disgusting racism. And you know what? I used to call Florida the toilet bowl of America. And I guess it still is. Like, it's hard to beat them, but Texas is really coming close. And the thing is, there's so many decent counties in Texas. As a matter of fact, there's a whole other story I don't have enough research on. Somebody else just decided to get rid of a vote of a actual primary vote maybe a primary vote in Texas again. We'll have to go in on that on the weekend, but just went to the court system and said, you know what, I want to throw out all these votes in this all black place, in this mainly black area. Texas just wrote a law that said, well, if there's a problem in a voting place, in a voting district, and the city or the county has over a certain amount of people, then we can just bring somebody there that we want to redo the vote again. And wouldn't it be funny to find out that certain amount of people threshold where they can do it only happens in one county? That's the one where a lot of black people are, and it's a big city, and they vote blue. It's over with. It's over with. Which is why I wanted to get to this first. I swear I'm almost done. I wanted to get to this first. When you find out that there's a poll that says 50-something more independents, a majority of independents think that Joe Biden is a bigger threat to democracy than Donald Trump. After everything I just told you, completely negating people, completely negating entire counties because they have too many people, because they're urban areas, quote unquote, and sending in your own person to redo the election because you don't like it if you find out that your person didn't win, is all Republicans. After all of these years of talking about how many bad votes there were and how many illegal people voted, the only thing they can find, every single person who has voted twice or voted for a dead person or voted for their dad or their mother, has been a Republican. Every time. And under the auspices of Donald Trump. But honestly, in all honesty, people, this is what the poll said. It's hard to believe, I know. Decent people of YouTube, it's hard to believe. But just watch this. Oh my God.
Another thing interesting in this polling was more independents said that they worry about President Biden weakening democracy than Trump, 53% to 42%. What do you make of this?
I find it shocking, honestly. I can't, make sense of that number.
The woman that you just heard from, by the way, is a Republican strategist who is shocked by the results of this latest NPR, PBS NewsHour, and Marist poll. And what it found, the most shocking result of this poll, was that a majority of independent voters somehow see Biden as more of a threat to democracy than Donald Trump. So overall, 46% said that a Biden second term would weaken democracy, while 48% said the same about Trump returning to the White House. So overall, if you poll voters across the ideological spectrum, a slim majority do believe that Trump is more of a threat. But then once you go to independent voters,
okay, that's enough.
Independent voters of
here's the problem. Here's the problem. I just laid it out. This is what the polls say. We can't change that. I dare you to say to yourself, why is that? Come up with the best reason you can think of as to why that is. Okay? I have a reason. I'll say mine first. Independent voters are the dumbest people on earth. Independent voters are the lowest informed people, the least informed people on earth. That's why they haven't made a choice yet. Can you imagine meeting someone today, not that you can't change their mind, but meeting someone today who still doesn't know who they're voting for in the presidential election? Can you imagine meeting someone who still wonders if they're with Trump or against Trump? If they think Biden is okay or is worse than Trump. Can you imagine the type of person that is? That type of person, in my opinion, is a type of person who only sees the news in the airport on the way to somewhere else. And whatever happened to be on is what they caught. That type of person avoids information at all costs because it makes them feel bad or dirty. That type of person is an idiot. A Trump voter who knows that they're with Trump is still smarter than the person who doesn't know who to vote for yet. Okay? And they want to make themselves feel good by saying that they're independent. Mainly, they were ex-Republicans because they didn't want to call themselves Republicans because of this thing or that one thing. Maybe it sounded bad in decent communities among civilized populations. They didn't want to say it out loud. Maybe some of them were Democrats who feel disenfranchised, feel used by Democrats. And so they said, well, I'm independent. The 54% who said that they believe that Trump was less harmful to democracy than Biden are flaming, abject, idiots, dummies, uninformed. But I want you to guess what Anna thinks about these people.
As we've talked about before, there's a difference in the independent voters of today versus the independent voters from 20 years ago. Back in the day, independent voters were referred to as the low information voters.
Yes, understand. That's why I think that way, because that's how it's always been. But I want to hear the genius of Anna Kasparian on the most progressive station on the internet. Please tell me, Anna.
That's not the case anymore. A lot of independents used to be partisan, but they decided to re-register as independents because they've been unhappy with both sides of the political aisle. And they're actually very much tuned in to what's going on in the country and what's going on in the realm of politics. And so I wonder, and this is my speculation, I don't have data to back this up, but I do wonder.
You don't have the data. I'm sorry. You have no data to back this up. After hearing what you just heard, you still had the gall to come out of your mouth, Anna, and say they're tuned in to what's happening in politics. They're very much tuned in. Biden is worse for democracy than Trump. And you say they're very much tuned in. I've got to hear why, Anna.
Sure. What percentage of these independent voters have looked at what transpired during the Democratic primary and they're like, wait a minute, you guys are claiming that Trump is anti-democratic, which, there is evidence to that, but what about what the Democrats are doing? How come we don't get another option or at least a robust primary as part of this election process?
Look, I wish people paid a lot more attention for personal reasons, let alone political and policy reasons, to what happened in the Democratic primary.
That's the point. The point is Cenk was running for president. And so you, in your stupid little bubble, Anna, really believed that a majority of independents who still didn't know who to vote for were paying attention to a Democratic primary where Cenk was in it. And because the Democratic oligarchy shafted him, that's why they think Biden is more detrimental to democracy than Trump. Is that your analysis, Anna? Is that the analysis, Laura?
No, far from it, my dear. In fact, the New York Times got a hell of a lot of backlash for their this alleged poll where she got these numbers from, because of the very biased way they were. Even the fact that they brought up the question of Biden's age was ridiculous. I mean, did they ask the same thing? Do you think that? Let me grab it here. New York Times, did you ask your random voters whether Trump is too insane, doddering, racist, sexist, criminal, traitorous, and hateful to be effective as president? That's not a poll. That's your agenda.
So, back to the first question. All of you out there, you had in your mind what you thought, why that could be. Did any of you have on that bingo card inaccurate polling? Because even though my first thing is idiot voters who have been idiots since day one, we call them independents, the least informed, there's another action or there's another dot you can poke on that bingo card. Inaccurate polling.
Hey, I got news for you.
Yep.
Presidential polls have not been right since pre-2016.
Boom! And there you go. Wow. You know what? I'm glad I have a genius on my show. I'm glad I have a genius on my show, guys. Because even though I might be biased, the truth is, when you have a genius on your show, they look things up.
There you go.
while I'm talking and while I'm excoriating the people who may not deserve it, my genius co-host is looking things up, while the genius host of TYT is saying, I don't have facts for this, I don't have proof of this, but something tells me they're so smart, they're tuned in. They're so tuned in that they overlooked January 6th. They overlooked Trump saying that he would be a dictator for a day. They're so tuned in that they overlooked Trump saying he wants concentration camps to bring people out of the country, to gather up illegals and put them in concentration camps. They're so tuned in that they didn't hear when he said president for life. That sounds great. Live on television. But they're so tuned in that they didn't hear any of that. But because Cenk didn't get nominated, that's why they believe Biden is bad for democracy. That was the analysis of the genius Anna Kasparian. Because they're so tuned in to politics. It's hard to believe. It's hard to overstate. It's hard to even make the rant seem like it's worthwhile because it seems so stupid on its face. But I'm here to tell you that there's a certain amount of people who are listening to this trash and this tripe. Thank God Cenk saved her in the end. And they're not going to vote for Biden because of this. They think that these people are tuned in to politics. It was the worst take I've ever heard on any news station anywhere. Anywhere. Newsmax has had better coverage. And if you don't believe me, this is the tripe that she's on now. I'm not done. The rant goes on. Let's hear this. This is the news. Joe Biden decided to withhold 2,000-pound bombs from Israel because they don't belong in overpopulated areas. That's the news. Here's some more news. There's intelligence that Hamas is gathering in the north, leaders and fighters in the north, away from Rafah. Joe Biden says, I'm not going to give you the 2,000-pound bombs to bomb Rafah, a heavily populated area. Joe Biden then says, I will give you the transportation you need to get the hell away from Rafah and go find the actual Hamas people in the north. That was $1 billion worth of transportation. They call it light ground vehicles, as well as ammunition for light ground vehicles. That may be 50 cals, but more than likely it's 45 and even less. Things that you can put inside AKs and M16s. And if they are 50 cals, they go on top of Jeeps. Light ground ammunition and transportation, armored so you can go away from Rafah to go fight Hamas. I don't think they need any of our weapons or any of our money. But how I presented it to you is the facts. Would you like to hear how Anna presented it? I'm sure you do.
Is reporting that the Biden administration plans to move forward with a $1 billion deal with Israel to send them more weapons. This comes after the Biden administration claimed that they were going to halt weapon shipments to Israel over Israel's planned ground invasion into Rafah, especially because Israel hasn't shown them any type of plan to protect or guard civilian lives in Rafah. So Biden was getting a little bit of credit, even here on this show, where we've been pretty brutal in our criticism toward him because of the fact that he's greenlit everything that the Israeli government wants to do. And he's tapping into Americans' finite resources, our taxpayer money.
Shut up.
In order to pay that Israel has killed far more civilians than Hamas militants. I mean, it was like the first time Blinken criticized Israel.
Some actual like critique, and it wasn't hedged or he didn't hem and haw. He said, no, like they're really screwing this up pretty badly and it looks awful. He said it.
He said it.
Finally.
I covered that video just yesterday. And then today, I'm here before you to let you know that the Biden administration is sending another round of weapons to the tune of $1 billion. Wow, it really is amazing. Seth Blinder.
Yeah, it's amazing that you didn't say any of the reasons why any of the ammunition sent or any of the facts at hand, Anna. You made it seem like he sent it to be done in Rafah. You didn't tell them that the bombs that he withheld are still being withheld. And what he gave them was to get the hell out of Rafah. That's not in your reporting, Anna. That's not in your reporting. Shall we continue?
Oh, you know, Biden really doesn't.
Shut up.
We'll go to Israel so they can bomb.
Here's what I want to say.
Week, both physically and based on what he does. What he says one thing, does another thing. Yeah. You know, he looks like, look, I'm just gonna keep it real. We'll go to Israel so they can bomb children in Gaza. But let me continue. An aid package approved last month. God, a country that had a surplus in 2022. Why are we paying for their weapons?
Great
Why are
question.
we paying for their weapons?
Great
they
question.
can't afford their own weapons?
Perfect question.
Why are we funding their weapons? I
Great
want to know.
question.
An aid package approved last month includes about 26 billion in funding for Israel, including $5.2 billion in spending on air defenses, $1 billion for the production of artillery, and billions of dollars for other weapon systems and U.S. military operations undertaken in the region in response to recent attacks. It also includes a $9 billion for F you with your humanitarian assistance. You could take it.
F you with your humanitarian aid. It also includes $9 billion for here. That's where you stopped? Here, Anna? Say it. Why does it taste like vomit coming out of your mouth? $9 billion for humanitarian aid, Anna. That's not important?
Shove it up your ass, okay? Oh, $9 billion of humanitarian assistance to Gaza. Let's see how it's gonna get to them. Is it going to, are we gonna be able to get past the...
Yeah.
The European hospital.
Let's hear this, guys.
It is.
Let's hear this. I got something for you.
Embarrassing. The Biden administration is embarrassing, okay? Embarrassing.
They're taking a bath on this one.
Here we go. I don't want to show you the whole 17
being
minutes.
humiliated on the world stage.
This is what she says.
It's insane to use this one issue to say you're not going to vote for Biden. But it's not just one issue, okay? It's more than one issue. It's not just support for Israel's brutal war in Gaza that has killed far more civilians than Hamas militants, with really no plan in place. Let's keep it real, okay? It's also about the fact that I, as an American, am tired of being humiliated on the world stage by the fact that our government seems to value a foreign country and the civilians within that foreign country more than our own civilians.
There's the news. There's the news. Good and decent people of YouTube. Anna says don't vote for Biden because she's tired of being humiliated on the world stage. So when Trump gets in there, all will be better. That's the news. That is the analysis of the genius who works at the most progressive station, the biggest progressive station on YouTube. I had rage when I first saw it, but seeing it again, I find myself in a much calmer position because I realize that she's lost it. She has lost it. Trump has said if he is president, he will stop all humanitarian aid to Gaza. But she doesn't want to be embarrassed. Trump has said if he becomes president, he will stop all Muslims, especially from Gaza, coming into the country, refugees or not. But she has lost the will. Trump has said he will give them everything they need to destroy them. Trump's son has asked to put up beachfront properties on the waters before the children's bones have been buried. But you don't want to be embarrassed on the world stage, Anna. You tell me, is this about Gaza or is it about you? Because even if you don't like what Biden was doing, to say, well, you know what? I really don't like that the dog bit my leg. I'm going to jump in the pen with all of these angry pit bulls as a way to escape it is the dumbest effing thing I have ever heard anybody say. And I will end it with this. Sorry, guys. I'm going to end it with this. She just told all of them, don't vote for Biden, supposedly because you care about Gaza. I end it with this.
And here's another thing about elections. Somebody always wins eventually. In our upcoming presidential election, somebody is going to win. The winner of that election will be the President of the United States for the next 4 years, beginning on January 2025. Like it or not, unless something truly unexpected takes place between now and then, the winner of that election will either be Joe Biden or it will be Donald Trump. Let's leave aside every other reason to prefer Biden to Trump and focus on Gaza. You're a single issue voter and Gaza is your issue. You're not comfortable voting for Biden because of everything I've been talking about. I understand. But can you make me understand how it would be better for the people of Gaza if Donald Trump were president? What reason is there to believe that Trump would be any harder on the Netanyahu government than Biden has been?
Bruce?
It seems far more likely that Trump would be even worse for the Palestinians.
But
the day before I wrote the script for this video, Thursday, May 9, Trump denounced Biden for saying he'd cut off the flow of weapons to Israel if the invasion of Rafah went ahead. He accused Biden of siding with the terrorists. He said it was disgraceful. Previously, Trump has also said he would discontinue U.S. humanitarian aid to the Palestinians and encourage other countries to do the same. And he has pledged to reinstate the Muslim ban he implemented early in his presidency and expand it to bar Gazan refugees, deport immigrants suspected of being sympathetic to Hamas, and ban people who aren't supportive of Israel from entering the U.S.
Wow.
And sure, you might say, well, I'm not going to vote for Trump either. Okay, but that brings us back to somebody always wins the election. The next president is going to be Biden or it's going to be Trump. As bad as Biden has been for the Palestinians, there's no reason to believe Trump will be any better. To the contrary, Trump has given every indication that he will be far, far worse. So if you care about the Palestinian people, particularly those in Gaza, it seems to me you should want to do your part to make their situation better, or at least keep it from getting worse. Part of that effort has to be stopping Donald Trump from becoming president again. How do we stop Donald Trump from becoming president again? We elect Joe Biden. That doesn't mean voting for Biden is the only thing you can do or the only thing you should do. It's not. Protest, advocate, push.
That's
If
what you
Biden's
say.
recent declaration to halt arms shipments to Israel proves nothing else. It proves that he can be moved. It might take a lot longer than it should. It might require a lot more effort than it should, but he is able and willing to change his mind. So keep up the pressure, speak out, make your voice heard. Let everyone know, especially the politicians who are asking for your vote in November, that you care about the people of Gaza and you demand that the United States government use its power and influence to help the people of Gaza, not to supply and run interference for the army trying to wipe them out. Then, when election time comes around this fall, vote for Joe Biden. Not because he deserves it, not because the people of Gaza don't deserve better, because he's the best of the viable options. And because contributing to the best result for the people of Gaza is something we should all be willing to do, even if we have to hold our nose, or swallow our pride, or set aside our anger. If you're not willing to do that, ask yourself this: is your refusal to vote for Biden about Gaza? Or is it about you?
Facts. That's the facts. I have a feeling it's not about Gaza anymore. And I'll go on to the next one. Laura, that's my rant.
Well, just on top of that, 56 minutes ago on AP Washington Wire, trucks carrying badly needed aid for Gaza Strip rolled across a newly built U.S. pier and into the besieged enclave for the first time Friday, as Israeli restrictions on border crossings and heavy fighting hindered the delivery of food and other supplies. The first shipments of first in an operation, the American military officials anticipate to scale up to 150 truckloads a day.
Oh, is that part of that $9 billion of hill? Was that hill that she didn't say? That $9 billion of hill? Of the hill that she could humanity hill? That's what that was that billion dollars of the hill? That's wow. Wow. I wish she could have gotten the gumption to spit it out of her mouth. But then again, it wasn't about the hill. It's about me. My soapbox. My little privileged place on YouTube. While right now the people in the Congress are trying to send up a new plan to Biden to get him to send those 2,000-pound bombs because they love to see the bloodshed. The Republicans have written multiple issues, multiple plans, multiple laws to try to get Biden to stop it. And Biden says, no, I'm going to veto it. What I will do is give them these light ground vehicles and ammunition to get the hell away from Rafah and go find actual Hamas. I don't like it either, guys. But dang, if you can't at least say when something is good happening and still find a way to tell people to vote for, by not voting, vote for the guy who will destroy them and build beachfront properties on their bones. What are you here for? Why are you here? You've lost the plot. Yes, Laura.
Let me put it this way. They're all like the Christie gnomes, you know. They'd rather just put these inconvenient, acty-uppy Palestinians into the gravel pit and pick them off. And while they're at it, grab a few horses and you know, there we go. Problem solved.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. They're all psychopaths.
Oh my God.
They only escalate.
I wasn't prepared for that. She wants to put them in the gravel pit. Just put them in the gravel pit. I don't know why I can't get rid of this. I guess I don't need it anymore. I don't want to see her face on here though anymore. Isn't there something else I could do? Where is my other thing? I'm taking this down. Yes, people. Oh man, what happened to him? And listen, man, I always want to say this. The truth is there's no good in this. There's nothing about, defunding TYT that'll help anybody. But when you find out, where the poop is, man, you got to clean it up. And I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to thank you. Open up a window. Okay? Open up a window. So my job is to open up that window. I didn't want to do it. But guys, don't listen to her. Everyone else on that station has something good to say usually. Waz has kind of turned into a dumb shit himself. But more than likely, if you're looking at the sports stuff, if you're looking at Cenk still tries his hardest, even though he's the one who ran and turned it into this, what they've been now. Still finds a way to reel her back. But her bubble has become play that thing again. This is what her bubble is full of. And it's destroying her mind. It's destroying her mind. She's lost it. And while losing it, she's going to tell you that she's on this soapbox and her virtue signaling does nothing but kill Palestinians. In America and over there. You heard Trump? Come on, man. If that's your solution, you're wrong. And if you heard what she said and it sounded decent to you, it's not your fault. It's because she's been trusted before. But I'm here to tell you, that is not only wrong-headed, it's selfish. And it's not about Gaza anymore. It's about her and her rightness and her soapbox. But the good news is we're getting that hill over there. That $9 billion of hill is going over there. Right. There's other good news. Laura. What else we got?
Well, a few things, we got Biden announced, perfect for today, announcing that he's the rescheduling of the marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 under federal law will be taking place. This is he's made the actual announcement now. So
Okay, absolutely perfect. Loving it.
it would here's what that means.
Well, I can tell you what it means as a person who has been under the gun for Schedule 1 means that you cannot even Schedule 1 means that it is as bad as heroin and acid. Now, under that means that there's no medical use. That also means that it is it's unable to even be researched for medical use. You can't research it. You can't prescribe it if you're a homeopathic doctor. You can't have it on your person. It also means that you can get a sentence up to life in prison if you have enough of it. Schedule 1 means it is heroin. Funny enough, OxyContin, which is heroin, isn't Schedule 1. Funny enough, the doctors that give out that type of stuff, right, don't go to jail for it. But marijuana growing in your backyard, you could have been locked up for life with enough of it. And nobody can study it unless they're doing it illegally. And we know the goodness that it has. It's been proven in every other country but ours that the things that marijuana can do to help people in all kinds of ways. So now that it's in Schedule 3, that is no longer the case. It's some of the best news that we could possibly ask for. If you care about black people going to jail at a 20 times, 30 million times higher rate than white folks for drugs, this is one of the things that stops it. If you care about researching marijuana to help cancer patients, all types of patients, that this is the first step to doing that. So it's not only good for the weed smokers, it's good for everybody that this is the case. Absolutely everybody.
Man, so many lives and families and everybody disrupted and, can't get a job, can't vote. It's just going to change so many things. And of course, for people who are in need of it for medical reasons. I thank ganja. It's thank ganja. There's ganja.
Right. Thank ganja. Thank ganja. There's ganja. My cousin has Tourette's and PTSD, and marijuana is the only thing that helps him with both, without destroying his liver and his life.
Yeah, it's sort of all these epileptic sort of small seizure disorders. Yeah.
Yep. So that's another good thing. What else we got?
He's investing billions into EV stations.
Good deal, because it seems like Go ahead.
And a 100% tariff on Chinese-made EVs.
Okay, so I don't care as much about the second one because I think that that's kind of a red herring. But I do think that the climate change has, for some reason, just been not worried about as far as this election is concerned. Abortion is important. We're losing our democracy. That's important. But climate change is as important as any of those, if not more, because we kind of live here. We kind of need it. And the models now have accelerated. I don't know if you know this, good and decent people of YouTube, but the models have accelerated. What they thought the time that we had has decreased. Expect to see shorelines underwater for a fact, non-reversible. What we're trying to do is save the little bit that we can now. And it needs to be a part of the, it needs to be if you have one thing to vote on, that's it. Meanwhile, Trump just offered up the entire world to energy companies. Give me $1 billion and I will do whatever you want, and it'll be done the first day. That's what he said, out in the open.
And I just saw something in a news feed of mine about Russia finding the world's largest reserve of oil under Antarctica. So they want to drill, baby, drill.
Wow. Well, that's okay. They won't have to soon. All the ice will be gone.
Yeah.
So keep the oil running, people. And there's nothing we can do about that here. But at least by voting in someone who seems to care about it, we can do the best we can. Another great thing that's not talked about enough. We got any more? I'm sure there's a bunch, but any more that we can talk about today?
Well, of course, there was the the debate challenge.
Yes, that's great. The debate's going to be awesome.
We had some Democratic wins, it seems to me, this week. Where did we have some Democratic wins?
All right, I'll let you end with the Democratic wins. Sean Brennan, thank you for showing up. Marius Baumier, a
fellow Canadian from Quebec.
Thank you so much for showing up. Madame Zenobia, thank you so much for showing up.
Got it here then. Tuesday's positive results seem to fly in the face of recent public polling showing issues for Biden. Hang on.
Man, the genius co-host of mine. What happened to these polls again? They're not reliable. When you find polls that say young people want to vote for Trump more than Biden, remember that they're not reliable. When you find polls that say people think Biden is worse for democracy than the guy who says dictator for one day, don't think it's because they're tuned in to politics. Whatever you do, more than likely, even more than my reactionary self, the truth is, these polls are bull, and they're not reliable. Go vote. What you got?
Yeah, so a referendum to guarantee abortion access in Ohio is set to pass by a hefty margin, and Democrats in Virginia are projected to flip control of the entire state legislature.
Oh, yes!
Meanwhile, in Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear, a Democrat, won a second term. So, yeah, well, that's just basically just the top paragraph. But yeah, we've got a lot more going for us going into it already. So there's just got to keep our eyes open for the tripwires, the traps they're setting, like the messing with the polling stations and trying to slow up the mail and a lot of things we can get into at another time.
There's a lot of crap going on out there, man. Georgia, all the southern states are trying to steal this election, and so I'm going to say that outright and with my full chest. They're trying to steal the election. They're getting rid of black people, and in any Democratic county or community that you live in, they're trying to steal your election. They're trying to steal your election. This isn't the false version that Trump was talking about. This is the reaction to when you say that enough, people go on the other side because they were told that it's being stolen. They're doing everything they can to actually steal it. If you don't believe me, just call up your polling place and find out the differences that are there from where it used to be. They're trying to steal the election. We need to vote early. Vote early. Get everybody out to vote. Period. Period. And when they call in the next guy to come and change your vote like they want to do in Texas, okay? Do not be surprised by it. Be outside when they show up. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. The kids will be there. That's a guarantee. Will we? Will we? That's the question. I say, keep smoking. Stay alert. Stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. Stop listening to Anna at all costs. Check out TYT for everything else. I'm not the person trying to bash them for no reason. I give you the receipts. Stay vigilant. They're trying to steal the election. And if the other guy gets in, Palestine, believe it or not, will be one of the least of the problems that we'll have to deal with for a long time. Believe it. Keep smoking. Smoke one for me, guys. Thank God it's Friday. Peace.
Thank God it's Friday. Peace out. Thanks, Bruce.
Whew, you're
Thanks
welcome.
everybody for joining.